What's going on, guys? It's RVP. This is my 2018 MLB predictions video. I'll be giving outlooks and standings projections for every single MLB team with projected records and even playoff predictions later on in the video. I'll go from bottom to top in each MLB division, and hopefully I can get some of these right. So let's jump right into it with the AL East. I'll start with the American League and then go on to the National League. In the bottom spot in the AL East, I had the Tampa Bay Rays. They did a complete tearing down of their roster, losing Evan Longoria, and I think they will struggle as they try to rebuild. I have them at 69 and 93. Then I have the Orioles. Machado is obviously an MVP candidate. Cobb was a great add for starting pitching, but really a poor starting rotation for the Orioles. I had them at 75 and 87. The Blue Jays, kind of a boom or bust team. They could be a wild card, but Donaldson's still a top-tier hitter, but it could be a boom or bust year. They have a lot of talent, but health is important for the Blue Jays. The Red Sox I have at 94 and 68. I think a full year of Rafael Devers will power this offense, and they are certainly ready to compete with a young core in the AL East. But the top spot I have going to the New York Yankees. They have all those power hitters, now adding Stanton to already having a lineup with Judge, Gary Sanchez, among others. They have a strong bullpen, and the Baby Bombers, I think, are ready to compete for a World Series crown, number 28 in New York. Now the AL Central, I have the Tigers in 5th place at 68 and 94. They lost Verlander at the trade deadline, and I think the Tigers are ready to rebuild around Cabrera. The Royals I have at number 4 at 71 and 91. Not the team they once were, going to the World Series 2 straight years. They lost Hosmer, Moustakas, and Kane, that core that brought them so far, and I think they'll struggle this year. The White Sox are on the upswing. Jose Abreu and company could surprise this year, but I still think the weak bullpen could hold them back. I have them at 74 and 88. In second, I have the Indians, kind of a surprise, losing by 1 game to the Twins this year. A loaded roster. I think they're ready for a deep run, but just short of the Minnesota Twins. They really surprised last season, and great offseason additions for them. Buxton is really turning into a star. I think this year is the year they can break through and finally win the division. Now into the AL West, I think the Oakland Athletics will finish at 76 and 86. They struggled the past 3 years, and I think they will continue to struggle. The Rangers I have at 77 and 85, just slightly better. They haven't really improved much in a tough division, losing Yu Darvish last year. I don't think they will be able to compete. The Seattle Mariners are an interesting team. They're really starting to turn a corner after struggling for most of the past decade. D. Gordon was a nice addition there. I think they'll finish at 80 and 82, but really in a couple of years they might be able to compete in this division. The Angels will greatly improve, I think, to 85 and 77. Ohtani is obviously the major addition, but he is a wild card. I mean, a pitcher and a hitter, and he struggled a little bit so far. Hopefully he can turn around for the Angels, but I think Mike Trout could lead them to compete for a playoff spot. But obviously the winner of this division is the Astros. I have them at 100 wins, 162. Defending champs added Garrett Cole to an already great rotation, and this young core, again, poised to win for years to come. Now we'll head over to the National League, the NL East. I think the Marlins will be the worst team in baseball this year, 62 and 100. I have them projected. They lost Stanton, Yelich, Gordon, Ozuna, really all of their core, and they're poised to rebuild for many years after this. Not looking good this year for them. The Braves have improved a little bit. I have them at 72 and 90. Promising rebuild, but the young players really need to step it up this year if they're going to succeed. The Mets struggled greatly last year. The talent's there. The infield is a question mark for them. But if the starters can't succeed like they didn't really succeed last year, but if they can succeed this year, they could compete in this division. The Phillies I have at 79 and 83. A young roster. They're on the edge of a breakthrough. I don't think it's their year this year, but they are on the edge, and the starting rotation is a problem for them. I think it's an easy win for the Nationals in this division this year. They're a World Series contender. They have an easy division. Great rotation for them. Harper is obviously an MVP candidate, and this is a deep team come playoff time. The National League Central, I have the Pirates at 70 and 92, bottom of the division. McCutchen and Cole, obviously their best players are gone, and so are Pittsburgh's playoff hopes this year. I have the Reds in 4th at 77 and 85. The rebuild continues for them, but it's basically the same roster as last year. They continue to improve slightly. The Cardinals I have in 3rd. Ozuna was a great add for them, but I don't think it's enough to contend with the Brewers or the Cubs in this stacked division. I have Milwaukee at 84 and 78, just slightly in 2nd. They added Yelich in the offseason. They have a loaded outfield. Starting pitching is their only flaw. I think they will come short of winning this division, and I think Chicago comes away at 93 and 69. There's questions with the bullpen, but they finished strong to last season after a rough start, and I think they will come away with the NL Central crown. Now to the final division, the NL West. I have the Padres at 71-91 in 5th place. Key add with Eric Hosmer, but I expect another disappointing year in a tough division in the NL West. The Rockies I have at 79-83. They're a solid team with Arenado. They need a few more years to compete with a young core. The D-backs I have at 82-80. They surprised in 2017, but I think they'll struggle to compete with the Giants and the Diamondbacks. Goldschmidt is obviously an MVP candidate, but I don't think it will be enough. The Giants I have as a surprise, a real sleeper team in 2018. I had them at 90-72. Bumgarner, Cueto, McCutchen now, and Longoria, 2 big adds. They form a veteran core, and I think they could lead to a playoff run. The Dodgers, one of the best teams in baseball, 96-66. They have great depth. The only questions are Kershaw's health, but they could make another World Series run out of this division. Now we'll go into my playoff predictions. The 2 wild card matchups I have is the Red Sox and the Indians in the AL, and in the NL I have the Giants and the Brewers. I think the Red Sox will defeat Cleveland to make it to the ALDS, and I think the Giants will beat the Brewers. I really like the Giants this year. They could be a sleeper team to make the World Series. Now on to the divisional series. In the ALDS, I have Houston against the Red Sox and the Yankees and the Twins. I think the Red Sox can upset Houston. Really a young team, could surprise and have a great record this year. It could go far. The Yankees, I think pure power will stop the Twins. And move on to a rivalry game between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Good old-fashioned rivalry, kind of revived this year with young talent on both sides. Should make a great American League Championship Series. Then in the National League, I have the Dodgers going up against the Giants and the Cubs and Nationals. The Dodgers, I think, are one of the best teams in baseball, and I think they will beat the Giants in a rivalry matchup as well. And I think the Nationals have what it takes to move on to the National League Championship Series this year. Now to the ALCS, I think the Yankees power hitters will shine and defeat the Red Sox and make it to the World Series, their first in many years. The Yankees are going to be a tough team to beat this year, the Baby Bombers they call them. Judge, Sanchez, Greg Bird, and now the addition of Giancarlo Stanton, arguably the best power hitter in the game, is going to be tough to beat. Their starting pitching pretty improved as well with the addition of Sonny Gray last year. In the NLCS, it'll be the Dodgers and the Nationals, and I think the Dodgers advance to the World Series over the Nationals. The Dodgers pitching, obviously Clayton Kershaw, I think is the best pitcher in the game. They have a deep team as well. The Nationals will just come short this year after a deep run. That sets up an impressive World Series, an old-fashioned matchup between the Dodgers and the Yankees. Should make for a great series, but at the end of the day, I think the Yankees' power hitters in their lineup are just too much, as well as their bullpen, for any team to handle this season. Giancarlo Stanton is an impressive add for them, and a team that almost reached the World Series last year, just coming short against the Astros. I think they'll take care of business against the Dodgers and win their 28th World Series. Thank you for watching today. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Thank you for watching today. Remember to like and subscribe. Peace out.